Volcanoes have fascinated people for centuries with their awesome destructive power. But while there are many things we've learned about these fiery giants, one question still remains unanswered. Can we stop them? Are we ever going to be able to control volcanoes so that they don't destroy everything around them when they erupt? Well, it turns out that not only can we do this, but some scientists think we already have. Hi, it's me, and this is my channel. And today we're answering the extraordinary question of whether we can stop volcanoes from erupting. Although they might look invincible, scientists say that certain types of eruptions can actually be stopped in their tracks. You heard that right. We may actually be capable of stopping volcanoes from erupting, but how? And more importantly, why would we want to? It's important to remember that not all volcanic eruptions are created equal. The type of eruption that we may actually be able to stop is known as an explosive eruption. These occur when magma chambers located beneath the Earth's surface get filled with gas, then suddenly burst, leading to massive explosions. This is what happens at stratovolcanoes like Mount St. Helens and Mount Vesuvius, which famously destroyed the Roman city of Pompeii. Explosive eruptions are also responsible for some of the most devastating volcanic disasters in history. For example, the eruption of Krakatoa in Indonesia in 1883 is believed to have killed over 36,000 people. And the 1980 eruption of Mount St. Helens claimed the lives of 57 people. But it's also this type of eruption that scientists think we might one day be able to stop. To understand how, though, we need to know a little bit more about what causes them in the first place. Explosive eruptions happen because of the amount of gas present in the magma. As magma rises up towards the Earth's surface, pressure decreases, allowing dissolved gases to form bubbles. This forms something called pumice. If the gas cannot escape, the pressure rises until it exceeds the strength of the rocks around it, causing an explosion. Researchers studying these kinds of eruptions recently proposed an ingenious idea to stop them before they start. The idea was put forward by a team of scientists at the University of Bristol who used computer modeling to explore ways of preventing future eruptions. They found that if you could inject enough cold water into the magma chamber, you could lower the temperature of the magma just enough to prevent the formation of gas bubbles. This would stop the pressure from building up and therefore stop the eruption before it even begins. But why would you want to do that? Wouldn't that just trap the hot magma beneath the surface? Yes, it would. And that's why this method should only be used in emergency situations. Magma chambers usually take thousands of years to fill up. So any magma that doesn't erupt won't be a problem for a very long time. But sometimes, as in the case of Mount St. Helens, they can fill up much faster than that. Scientists have estimated that the magma chamber under Mount St. Helens only took 9 days to fill after the 1980 eruption. If another eruption of that size had occurred just 2 days later, the death toll would have been catastrophic. The nearby town of Kassel was evacuated, but the people living there wouldn't have had enough time to leave if the eruption had happened just 2 days earlier. The reason that Mount St. Helens filled up so quickly is because it's a highly explosive volcano. Most volcanoes aren't this extreme, though. Take, for example, Hawaii's Mauna Loa, the world's largest active volcano. Unlike Mount St. Helens, which sits at the top of a steep, narrow mountain, Mauna Loa is a shield volcano. This means that it has gently sloping sides. Unlike stratovolcanoes, shield volcanoes don't usually explode. Instead, their magma flows out in a lava lake. While this is less dramatic and dangerous, it does cause problems for the people living nearby. Between 1950 and 1952, lava from Mauna Loa destroyed 14 homes. In 1960, the lava lake overflowed, threatening the nearby town of Hilo, home to almost 45,000 people. At this point, scientists realized that they needed to find a way to control these non-explosive volcanoes as well. A team led by Professor Emeritus of Volcanology, Harry Glicken, met together to discuss the problem. Their solution was both creative and simple. They proposed pumping water into the lava lake to raise its level and prevent it from spilling over. Although it sounds easy, doing this is no mean feat. The Hawaiian Volcano Observatory first tried to lower the level of the lava lake by pumping water into the summit crater. However, this didn't work. It became clear that if they were going to pump anything into the lake, they would have to pump it directly in. In the end, scientists decided that the best way to go about this was to drill a hole into the summit crater and pump water through a pipe to the bottom of the lake. On April 1965, they began drilling the hole, which reached a depth of 2,000 feet below the surface of the lake. When they hit the lava, the drill bit melted, bringing drilling to a halt. After assessing the situation, scientists decided to try melting a hole instead. On June 1965, they lowered a 6-inch pipe to the bottom of the lake and pumped water through it. Incredibly, the lava around the pipe melted away, creating a path for the water to flow through. With the hole now free of lava, the water flowed unimpeded. By July, the level of the lava lake had dropped by 200 feet, reaching its lowest level in 50 years. The town of Hilo was safe and the water stayed in the lake until November when Hurricane Iowa blew it out. Although the water level rose again, it never reached the dangerous level it had been at before. Today, scientists continue to monitor the lake closely and are prepared to use the hole again if necessary. So there you have it. Humans really can stop volcanoes from erupting, at least some of them. But that doesn't mean it's always a good thing. Some scientists argue that rather than trying to stop volcanoes, we should let them erupt because they play a vital role in our planet's ecosystem. Even the destructive side of volcanoes, such as the lava that destroys homes, can actually be beneficial. Lava soil is incredibly fertile and, unlike regular soil, it doesn't erode, meaning that areas covered in lava can be used to grow crops for generations. Some scientists even believe that life as we know it wouldn't exist without volcanoes. That's because they release gases like sulfur dioxide, which react with water to produce sulfuric acid. This forms clouds which reflect heat back into space, helping to regulate our planet's temperature. What's more, volcanic ash contains minerals such as potassium, phosphorus, and zinc, all of which are essential for life. When volcanoes erupt, these minerals are released into the atmosphere where they eventually fall back to Earth as fertilizer, making the soil extremely fertile. While it's true that volcanic eruptions can be deadly, killing thousands and destroying entire cities, they're also responsible for creating the very conditions that allow life to flourish. So perhaps instead of trying to stop them, we should learn to live alongside these powerful forces of nature. Now that you know how humans have managed to stop volcanoes from erupting, it's time to make your voice heard. Comment below and tell me what you think. Do you think we should try to stop volcanoes from erupting or leave them alone? Let me know, and you might see your comment in a future episode. And if you want to see more videos like this, then be sure to subscribe for more fun science videos every week. Thanks for watching. See you next time.